Okay, you sure you don't mind? If I
I
can just ask you questions?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me how you came about being in the Army. Were you drafted? Was that a
Yeah,
drafting thing?
I was
But now wasn't the war over or what? Just tell me
No, the
about it.
Korean War was on.
Oh.
So when I got out of basic training, yeah, out of basic training, which everybody has to go through, you didn't have a choice. They said you are going to Korea or you are going someplace else, either school or someplace else overseas. And out of about 300, 4 of us got special.
Wow. Now did a lot more people request special? But
Oh no, no, nobody requested.
everybody wanted to go to Korea?
No, no, they just sent. They needed people in Korea,
Oh,
so
okay.
they just got sent.
Wow, you were lucky.
I was very lucky.
Yeah.
There, one guy, I guess they told him he'd go to work for the Army, grinding glasses for eyeglasses.
Yeah.
He was a little fat Jewish boy,
Yeah.
and he lay down on the ground crying like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
He didn't think much of it.
Yeah, I guess. So, okay, and how old were you when you got drafted? I mean, right when you were 18 or?
Oh no, I held out. Couple letters came, you are drafted.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam needs you, and I just threw them away and kept moving along.
Really?
Yeah.
Pop, you can't do that.
The third letter,
You could get put in jail.
well, you could have, but third letter. Now, normally when you got drafted, they sent you home for a week,
Uh-huh.
and then you had to report something. Me, they said go here.
Yeah, you've already been home for a week, buddy.
Yeah, or a couple months.
Now, were you living? Okay, so I forgot to ask about the schools you went to. What grammar school did you go to? Do you remember
Grattan School.
that? Grattan School. Okay, which was that like in the Haight kind of, or?
It was on Grattan Street where we lived.
Oh, you lived on Grattan. I thought you lived on Parnassus.
No, that's Oma Ida lived on Parnassus. I never lived on Parnassus.
Oh, so you were living with Grandpa?
No, I was living with Grandma.
Your grandma?
No.
Oma Ida.
Oma Ida, yeah.
Okay, I thought when she came to this country, I mean, after she decided to really stay in this country, she got the apartment on Parnassus, but no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
She lived with my father, of course. And they kept moving whenever the rent was due, and the
Get
guy
out.
wouldn't give it to you next week or this and that.
Now, but wait, I thought Grandpa left her when you were really little, and then
I
she
was
went back
pretty
to Switzerland,
Yeah.
and then came back, and then they got back together again?
Well, they didn't divorce. And He
Mhm.
would come around, mostly asking for money. And yeah, I had my first birthday in the Panama Canal.
In the Panama
At
Canal.
the Panama Canal.
Okay, all right.
Don't get
But that's
that wrong.
still pretty exciting.
Well, I don't remember too much of it, to be
No.
honest with you.
No, because Oma Ida was coming back from Switzerland, or?
Well, she went over there. She wanted to emigrate back
Yeah.
to Switzerland. And I guess she asked everybody, she has a couple brothers. I don't know if the one brother died before that or after that, but I guess nobody would help her. And her best friend was where we went once.
Copenhagen, or?
No, we went someplace
in Switzerland, yeah.
Yeah, Emmy was her name.
Okay.
And I guess that didn't work either, so she came back
Mm-hmm.
and had to come back. And I guess for a couple of years they lived. The only one working in the family for a while was Aunt Dolly.
Oh.
She was supporting her brothers, her mother and father, and us.
Wow. What was she doing, do you know?
Working for Folgers Coffee.
Oh. Now, just for posterity, tell me Aunt Dolly's whole name.
Oh, I don't know.
But she was
It's actually
Dora Downey,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And she was your father's
Sister.
sister, blood sister, real sister.
Real sister, so was
Okay.
Uncle Donald, real.
Okay. And I mean, from what I remember of Tante Dorley, which is what we called her, which is kind of weird, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I think that's more English than Dora.
Yeah, yeah. She was like really interesting and fun. And I mean, was she like that when you were growing up too, or?
Well, she was very nice to me. I mean, they all were. It's
Well, you were so darn cute.
Any family with a firstborn
Yeah.
always gets the most attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Fortunately, there wasn't a second one, so I always got the attention.
So you were spoiled, which explains a lot.
See,
Just kidding, Pop. Just kidding.
no, I have no. Oma Ida, then in I would say 39 or 40, got this place on Grattan Street.
Mm-hmm.
Paid $14 a month, and then the war came along, and rent was frozen.
Really?
They didn't want anybody to raise it just because they were starting to get a shortage of housing, and she kept that into the 50s, $14 a month. The poor
Oh
guy
my God.
Could not raise her rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I of course never saw that apartment, but what was it like? Was it a flat or?
It was two units in one building.
Uh-huh.
Built probably in, I think, before the earthquake, before 1906.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was bad. Oh,
Really?
it was sitting on a hill, at the bottom of a hill, and the moisture, the rain stuff would go down to it, and you could see the walls were getting wet, But at $14 a month, you don't.
Yeah. And just for posterity again, that was in San Francisco, obviously.
Grattan Street.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever.
249 Grattan, if you ever go to look at it.
Is it still there, do you think?
Yes, I think it is.
It's 100 and something years old now.
Well, it's a historical building. They can't tear it down.
Well, you lived there, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
A
So
really nice guy owned it, Mr. Zinger. And he took me to ball games, and he took me out with his little Ford.
cool.
Real nice guy.
Because your father was not always there.
He'd show up once in a while on a Sunday,
Yeah.
and oh boy, Daddy's coming. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, what he'd do, he'd lay down on the couch and kind of sleep with I can't remember, opera. They had an opera hour on Sundays with the opera going, which drove me nuts. But I was so little, I didn't.
Yeah. What could you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
He took us out maybe 2 or 3 times that I can remember.
Mm-hmm. And then, so they got a divorce, and then he married Grandma Mary.
Yeah, there was quite an interval in between.
Really? Okay. That's probably good.
Yeah.
Now, just because we're on the Grandma Mary and Grandpa thing, so Mary Jane was Grandma Mary's daughter
Yeah.
before they got married, before your father married Grandma Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's your stepsister.
Yeah, she was married before, and apparently, from what I heard, the husband took a hike. It
Oh.
left her very well fixed.
Oh.
And my father managed to go through all of it.
Really?
There was a motel in Grass Valley. I saw it a few times, and
Yeah.
a nice home. And he went through all of it.
Wow. Do you think he loved her, though?
I don't know.
Yeah, you couldn't really tell.
No, I had warned her about him.
Really? Because she was really nice.
She was very nice,
Yeah.
and but she told him that I had warned her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Did you get punished for that?
No.
Okay.
No, he had a few words for me, but
Yeah.
what could he do?
Yeah, that's true. Well, how did they end up getting that house in Fairfax then?
I think Mary Jane got a job.
Oh, okay.
And he got a kind of a half-baked job with the museum working on microscopes.
Oh, okay.
and that's what his trade was at that time, in his latter years.
Mm-hmm.
Or up at UC, I don't know, I'm not sure which one.
Because he was kind of like an inventor or something. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but did he actually ever really invent anything, or he just?
Well, he everything he did was too little and too late. You know, he developed. At that time, there was, well, this is after the war. During the war, he got a big contract for making metal boxes for the army or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for. But by the time he got all the equipment together and everything together, the war was over and he was left stuck with metal boxes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
The next project was he made motors, electric motors, little electric motors. And they were supposed to go into condensers that you hung on the car. You're too young for that.
Mm-hmm.
But this was before air conditioning, and they had a cylindrical thing that you hung outside the window. You know, you close the window, and with this electric and the wind blowing in, and there was moisture in there, it would cool the car.
Oh.
Well, by the time he got that going, they got air conditioning.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So day late and a dollar short for everything.
Yeah, he even used it. He still had all these thousands of motors.
Yeah.
And the next thing he decided to do was make it so you could open drapes with them.
Oh.
Drapes
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Terry's parents have.
Yeah.
And it just didn't fly. I don't know.
It seems like a great idea.
Well, yeah. Maybe it was two
I think before his time.
before his time. And he had one deal where he used the electric motors to a baby crib to raise and lower the sides.
Oh.
That didn't work. So.
Wow, you got to be pretty lazy not to.
Yeah. Now, the only thing he did successful, in my opinion, was he worked for E.D. Bullard and developed the first hard hats that weren't made of metal.
Oh, interesting.
They were made out of the fiberglass at that time, which was strips of cloth
Yeah.
on a mold, and then you put epoxy, sort of like an epoxy. I don't think it really was epoxy, but put it all together, and that was the helmet.
Oh.
It wasn't good enough for the army because it wasn't
Bulletproof.
bullet to go
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
But it was good enough for workers, And then my father got greedy. E.D. Bullard financed him, and they built him a lab, or he had a lab in one of their offices. And then my father started wanting more money from Bullard, and Bullard said goodbye.
Oh man.
So,
wow.
yeah.
He just couldn't catch a break.
No. We're using those helmets today.
Yeah, yeah. Darn. We could be rich.
Should have been, but
Yeah, that's Grandpa.
that's Grandpa.
Now, did he drink?
No. Oh my God. If he saw you taking a glass, you were a drunkard.
Really?
He was that way, but we'd go to the Reynolds, and we were good friends with the Reynolds, or he was, and he'd have a glass with dinner, because they were the type that they'd serve a nice dinner with company.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Now, was he religious at all?
No.
No.
I'm pretty sure he was Catholic.
Oh.
But I really don't know. I think the whole family was Catholic.
Yeah.
They were not practicing Catholic.
And how about Oma Ida? Was she religious?
No, not really. But,
You think she was brought up something or other, but...
yeah, Lutheran or...
Yeah, okay. So it was kind of natural for you to take on Lutheran because Mom was Lutheran too.
Yeah. And, every Christmas you'd say, well, let's go to church. And I says, I don't want to go.
And you wouldn't have to go.
I wouldn't have to go.
Yeah.
And she never did either.
Yeah.
I
All
went
right.
to Sunday school when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much.
Well, you also got to go to German school.
Got to? You mean had to?
Oh, no.
It was right when all the good cartoons were on Saturday mornings, Pop. It was torture. Well, I mean, I'm glad I did now.
I didn't like those cartoons anyway. They too silly for me.
So it was worth it for you to drive us to the marina in San Francisco to go to German school.
Well, your mother really wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad now because I can actually understand German.
Yeah, I mean, I would have never thought of it or done it, but your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was it? Ricky also went. I think he.
Yeah, I think so. Well, and Eves
Yeah, you know
and
that
Stefan.
whole crowd there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did you meet those people because of German school or you were
No.
already friends?
We lived on Parnassus, and there was a guy who would always sit in a truck at McKinley's Market, which was on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and he would eat his lunch there, and I started talking to him. And he turned out to be German, and back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And, then I guess they invited us over, or your mother invited them over, and then that was Fred von Hoosen.
Oh. He
Yeah.
didn't, so he didn't own the deli then yet.
Oh no, no, no.
Hang on one second. Let me